Welcome back to NC Bassin. It's been a tough week so far. Trying to make a journey to Lake James. Blew out my other trailer tire that was also old. Had to wait for a tire shop to open. Luckily, it wasn't too bad. I was able to get it fixed, and I went to Rodis Lake because it was close to the tire shop instead of going to Lake James. I already burned half the day, and then I ended up not even getting a bite there. 5 hours, high water, muddy water, didn't get a bite. It still looked promising. I thought I could catch them up shallow, but not even a bite there. My first time ever going there, so that was a kind of a disappointment. Then I went to a pond after that. Here's what I did there. God, that's something tiny. Yes, a fish. I really thought he was a bluegill. He was coming right at me. He felt even smaller. Had to pull out the baton to get a bite. They won't touch the buzzbait, but caught a fish. That's a relief, finally. There we go. Oh my God. And I wanted to fish on a frog so bad. That was like a 3.5, 2. Now I'm here at two local ponds that are right next to each other. I'm trying to see if I can catch the fish on every single lure I got. I bought 5 rods on a tackle box, got a baby brush hog, original floating repel. I used to kill this thing as a kid from my teenage years. That was probably my favorite bait. I threw that thing all the time. That and a jointed minnow too. Rapala was my baits back then. Of course, a wacky rig baton. If I can't catch them on that, then I might as well just go home. Got a H2O Academy prop bait, which can be great around brim beds. We've had this cold front, might make it tough. And my favorite of all was a frog. I lost a nice one on the frog. That's mainly what I want to catch them on. This is probably my favorite bait to catch them on. A frog, or whopper ploppers up there too, but it seems like I catch bigger fish on a frog. And it's fun pulling them out that cover. Hopefully I can catch one on that. Hopefully I can catch one on all of them, but it could be tough. Last few times I've been in this pond has been really tough. And we had a major cold front come through. It's real cold this morning, but hopefully I'll get lucky. Full moon tonight, so maybe I'll make the fish bite. Let's see how it goes. That was quick. It looks like a big fish. Because it's a snapping turtle. I got a snapping turtle, I think. Or maybe just a big stick. I think I got a little snapping turtle. Yep. Gosh, I'll never get my baton. Oh, it's not even little. That's a big snapping turtle. That's a pretty big snapping turtle. Well, not what you're trying to catch on a baton, and all this is like 3 inches deep in front of me, so it's going to be like impossible to drag him in here. Right in the mouth. Snapping turtle. You got to be kidding me. Don't take my baton. He just buried right in the mud. If you give me my bait back, I'll let you go. I know this is a straight mush where I go out there and try to get him. I mean, this stuff will sink. It's like quicksand. I mean, he's already buried. This water's cold too. Oh, he is buried. Look how, this is how this stuff is, guys. That's why I can't get to him. Just keep getting them bited and pull them out. He's not that big at all. Guys, I used to catch snap turtles all the time. I got a snap turtle tattooed on the back of my arm. I like snap turtles, they're cool. There we go. We got him. I don't break my rod. He's not even big at all. Well, he's maybe 10 pounds. You may ask yourself, how do you unhook a snapper turtle? Exactly like this right here. Give him to bite something. Guys, not try this at home. I'm an untrained professional. And all this for nothing because my worm is destroyed, of course, as expected. And they got strong claws. There we go. Almost had to reach my finger in there and get it out. You're unhooked. You guys can see this, what's left of my hook now. BMC hook strong, guys. Didn't catch a snap turtle. Probably about a 10 pounder, which ain't very big, but I wanted to catch a 10 pounder, guys. Really wanted to catch a 10 pounder. Didn't want it to be a snap turtle though. It's supposed to be a largemouth bass. It's worse than a catfish. At least I got my, well, so I'm not gonna be able to catch one on the baton. That's out the question now. It's the only thing I hate about not bringing a tackle box. He's not big or anything, but not what you expect to catch. I'm trying to help you out, get that stick out of your mouth. There you go. They're not as mean and ferocious as everybody thinks. Everybody thinks you gotta get them out of your ponds because they're gonna eat all the bass, and this guy's not eating 5+ pound bass. They're good for the environment. He's going to eat a lot of bluegill, mostly dead stuff, and they'll eat a lot of vegetation actually. They'll eat a lot of algae and stuff. They're good to have in the ponds. A lot of people like to eat them, make turtle soup out of, and these guys live forever. They deserve to get a second chance and live. And they're really just gentle giants, unless you catch them like this. The only time they're real mean. Everybody thinks they're mean, but in the water they're real docile. I'm glad I got the hook out of him. Not what do you expect to catch on a wacky rig, but I had a little bit of excitement for the day. Hopefully we can catch some fish as it gets warmer, because I'm really struggling right now. But I had one bite on the original floater. I don't have the baton now, so that's out of the challenge. That's the bad thing about not bringing a tackle box. We'll go ahead and let him go. He's tired. I'm gonna snap at the camera real quick. Woo! Yeah, let's let him go. We're gonna catch a bass now. Oh, got him. Finally, a fish. He was looking at it. And he come over there and got it. Yes. Just said I'm not gonna leave till I catch a fish. That's why I can't get bit on the frog probably, guys, because they're this big. And he even thought about eating it before he ate it. The original floater. Oh, this bait's literally 14 years old. I've had it forever. The hooks are not in the best shape. But size 11. I used to catch one on a 9 a lot, on a spinning rod, and mono. Back in the day, that was my go-to. That and a jointed rapala, broken back as we called them. Those were our go-to hard baits. Little tiny guy finally caught one, man. I was... Oh, that might be a bluegill. Nope, a tiny bass. We're just going sideways. I finally started throwing this, watching Via Hook's channel. Shout out to him for actually making me finally throw this thing. I've tried it once last year and didn't get one on it. This thing, I mean, it's like a forgotten tool. Nobody throws it anymore. And I'm thinking about bringing it out at Norman. I mean, yeah, they'll bite a fluke like on top like that, but this is a little more subtle, and I feel like these fish haven't seen. They're so used to suspended jerk baits, the Vision 110s and stuff. A floating jerk bait, especially this time of year, the garden fry and stuff. It's like a subtle popper, subtle topwater. I think around dawn and dusk, I could catch a ton of spots on this thing. I might have to bring it out. It's like a forgotten tool. God! He ate it off top. Oh, he's tiny. What a hit for such a little guy. I was wiggling it on top. I used to catch them like that a lot too. Just that I used to use a cricket hopper, a little Rebel cricket hopper. I just twitch it on top. They'd kill it. Well, I heard this guy jump over there a minute ago. Took me 2 casts to get it actually that far out to him, but they're tiny. I mean, tiny, tiny, tiny. This pond, I used to catch a ton out of here, frog fishing, but they never were. I never caught big ones out of here, but they were bigger than that. It seems like they're getting smaller and smaller. Maybe it's because these guys didn't spawn. Maybe the bigger fish are just post-spawn and tired, not trying to feed, but there's something. The only thing that get a bite right now is this. They want it below the surface. Got me wrapped. They won't eat it off the top, most of them, except for that one. That was like a triple jerk. I mean, these guys are tiny, tiny. I mean, bite size for that snapper. There's gotta be some fry garters out here, something. God, frogfish, yes! I'm so glad I stopped here on the way home. He's a big one too. First frogfish of the year is not small at all. Oh, he's a dang giant. A dang giant. Please tell my camera's going, yes. It's huge. It's gigantic. It's gigantic. Oh my gosh. A giant. Woo! Look at that toad right there. I have a scale or nothing with me. Oh man. I have been getting, I don't know why I even stopped here. I've been getting skunked in this pond every time I go, guys. That's that fish that was 6 pounds last year, I believe. I caught it twice. Now she might be 7. Woo! Man. Didn't think she was that big when I set the hook, but that was a long distance cast. What a giant. Oh my. Guys, do you think she wanted the frog? I mean, she ate it. That fish is huge. I've got to get a scale. Oh, look at that. The frog just popped out. Wasn't even hooked. Probably just barely had her skin hooked. Oh my gosh. Could that fish possibly be that 9? I mean, it's got the giant eyeballs, but I'd say that's a 7. All I know is the biggest fish I've caught all year. Yes! I gotta run home, guys, and grab a scale. I gotta get pictures of this fish too. You guys can see that. Well, guys, that's a giant right there. 7 pounds, 2 ounces. Big giant. Pretty sure it's the same fish I caught twice last year. Might be the biggest fish in this pond now. Finally, man, this pond has been giving on my, it's been really a struggle this year. I can't even catch a fish. Last time I came here, I lost like a 3-pounder on a wacky rig. That's one of the reasons I stopped here on the way home. Plus, it's on the way home. I really just stopped here to see if that original floater would work here like it did at the other pond. Well, let's get her back in the water. She might be on the bed. She might be done spawning. She might have been eating bluegill, but that's why you throw frogs, guys. Giant fish on frogs. It seems like the average fish I catch on a frog is like a 4-pounder. You catch some big fish on frogs. That's why I throw them in the spring. Yep. What's that? Almost 23 and a half, but not quite. had somewhere to stand and release this fish. My feet are already wet from the snapping now. Oh my gosh. That creek is 20 degrees colder. Might have shocked her system. This water is so much warmer than that creek was. There she goes. Big pond giant. Hasn't been fooled by live bait yet, or those guys would have kept her. This pond gets fished out bad. But, well, that's 3 times I've caught her. She's slowly getting bigger and bigger. Well, guys, I only fished like 20 more minutes after that, but that's all the excitement I needed. I'm so glad I stopped here because I really wasn't going to, but that frog right there, I love a Terminator walking frog. This one's kind of new. I got the black, I like the light bluegill color too. This thing walks great, or it's a popping frog, Terminator popping frog. Terminator's probably my favorite frog. I like Spro too, and Booyah Eye's okay, but I'd probably say Terminator's my favorite. They do cost a little more. They just walk so good. They come with really good hooks. I got lucky to catch that fish. Only slightly bent the hooks out. You need to bend the hooks out, but at the ponds, I did not want to lose this bait. I'm throwing that on 50-pound braid, and it's Corrado K 8.5. I needed all that 8.5 to catch up with that fish. He didn't feel that big at first, but he killed it like a giant, but you never know. A snap turtle was interesting, but that big fish right there, that's by far the biggest fish of the year. Finally caught one on a frog. Lost one on a frog the other day. Been trying to catch one of the ponds on a frog. Can't even catch a fish out of this pond. I didn't see any other beds. I just walked around real quick and threw trying to catch another one on a frog, but it didn't work out. I probably could have caught some on the original floater, but I need to save this pond anyways. There's a giant in there. It was a good day, but thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.